Hello, everyone.
Howdy, all. We're doing the live thing, and as always, I'm Matt from my channel and Stack Your Points, and we've got RJ from her channel and Stack Your Points. RJ, how are you doing today?
You know what, Matt? I'm doing well. I have the CSR video. The script is done. I went to record on my lunch today, and then I had to go adult for a little bit.
Yep.
So I was not able to actually do the recording I wanted to do. And then I realized that the new Star Trek show, the first 2 episodes of Star Trek Academy, is out. So once we are done recording this live, I'm going to go watch that. So the chances of me actually recording the CSR video before tomorrow are really low. But it's like all I have to do is record it, and because it's a 2-minute episode, 2-minute bit, it is very quick. So I'm looking forward to that. And I see some people in our chat. For some reason, they're not over on the comment stage, but I see you people. I see Rupert. I see Tariq. Hello, Tariq. Clinton. Just gave the Wells 2K a travel spend that would have gone through the CSR. So Clinton has moved his CSR travel spend to Wells. Matt, that's got to bring some warmth to your heart.
Well, your 3x cruise versus 1x cruise. I get it. It's a good play.
It is a good play. We have a lot to go over with Bilt, and he did confirm it is cruise. We are going to talk about Bilt.
I know my audience.
I want to give people some time to get in here. I want to give people a little time to come in. Is there anything else in credit cards you want to talk about before we get to the Bilt, or is it just all Bilt all the way down?
So there is a new welcome offer on the World of Hyatt card that can net you up to 17 elite nights. So it's pretty funny. You can earn the welcome offer is up to 5 free nights. So you get the card, you get a free night on your anniversary, but you earn 3 nights by spending $5,000 on the card in the first 3 months. If you spend another $10,000 past that, so $15,000 in 6 months, you get 2 additional free nights. These are all category 1 to 4. Now, the card gives you 5 nights for holding the card toward status, and for every $5,000 in spend, you get 2 nights added to your total, right? So the 2 nights times 3, because 5 times 3 would be 15. So that's 6 nights there, 5 nights for holding the card, and the welcome offer would net you 6 nights total because $15,000 in spend gets you another night. So 17 nights from this welcome offer.
That's a lot of nights.
Yeah, it's 3 nights from your first milestone award and 13 nights away from Globalist. That's before, not Globalist, I'm sorry, 13 nights away from Explorist. That is before any paid stays you put on that card.
That is impressive. Now, is it every 4 years you can get a Hyatt welcome offer?
I think it's only 2. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't have one. I haven't done it. So
right. I also am not a Hyatt person, but I have a friend who is a Hyatt person, and she's thinking of having her husband close his card so he can go apply for a new one to get the welcome offer, because I mentioned it to her. And I was like, hey, guess what? I know you like Hyatt. There's this welcome offer. You should go take a look.
17 nights.
It is the Rupert, to answer your question, it is the personal card, correct, Matt?
Personal card.
Yeah. So
because the business card has the 60,000 points on, I want to say 6,000 spend. It's either 6 or 8,000 spend, but that one has the one that one has the one that is right and good in the world.
Yeah. Keith already has 19 nights for Hyatt as of today. It is currently the 15th of January.
I'm doing my first 2 nights this weekend.
I have one night of Hyatt ever. It was a beautiful stay. It was a category 8 Hyatt. So if I was going to do Hyatt, I was going to, go right up to the top end. All right, Matt. We're going to pull up Tariq's comment to kick off our main topic for this evening. Bilt did some bungling.
Yep.
Now, I apologize, guys. I can see your comments over on this screen. I cannot bring up all the comments, so I don't know if Matt, for some reason, my comments are not loading all the way down. So if yours are, please feel free to toss them up. But I can see all of them on my other screen.
I've got up until Clinton mentioning and some stuff on Flyer Talk as well. So if Clinton is the last comment, I've got that. Okay.
No, there's more over on the other one. I don't know why they're not loading. I think it's something with StreamYard tonight, because that's why I went out and came back. So we see your we see you over on the other chat. You're just not going to be popped up. So Richard Kerr is being called to be fired on Reddit, Flyer Talk as well.
If it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to.
Also, Tyler credit card tips. Thank you for becoming a member.
Appreciate that.
Let's take a step back before we get too deep into the weeds.
Sure.
Let's take a step back. Going into this, we had a pretty good idea of what things were going to look like. You and I did a live last week. We did a Wednesday live because some things dropped. And we had 3 sets of cards to go over. One of the sets of cards was basically 100% accurate.
Yes.
The blue, the obsidian, and then the palladium.
Yep.
So there wasn't, and you and I said this to each other via Discord, like, this was kind of boring because there were no surprises. There was nothing that was not leaked beforehand. Now, you and I are both tech people. I watch WWDC every year. I watch the keynotes every year. Most of what is in those have already been written, but there's usually 1 or 2 things that's a surprise, right? There's usually some amount of, oh, that's really interesting, or that's really cool. And it feels like Bill kind of let everything leak. So when the announcement came out, it was, oh, we already knew all of this. And also that cache thing means XYZ, QP, W. And now they have sort of kind of 2.5 to 3 point systems all competing at once. If you think of Bilt Cache as a point system, because it's not cache. Going into it, were you hopeful that the leaks were wrong, or did you think that the leaks were spot on?
No, blue obsidian palladium made the most sense. Like, I did not expect them to do the 10 transaction cards that we saw. I thought that minimum spend would have been cleaner. But when it became, Bilt Cache was going to be the thing, blue obsidian palladium made the most sense. The problem with Bilt Cache is, like, everyone's pitching it as, oh, well, it's a 3.33% catch-all, 3.33x catch-all across the board, up to 75% of your rent and mortgage spend. And yes, technically correct, but really what Bilt is trying to do is get you to buy back your points on rent and mortgage. Like, they've got it locked in escrow, and they'll give them back to you if you use Bilt Cache to pay back the 3%, or you just turn on the I will just pay 3% in their options. Now, they do say that you can turn on the max points. There's no fee for using the card. What your rent is, what your rent is. That's a marketing gimmick, because you either way you do it, any way you cut it, if you want your points on rent and mortgage through the Bilt card, and the Bilt card is now the only way to get Bilt points on rent and mortgage, you have to pay 3%.
Yes.
And it's disingenuous to call it a 3.33x catch-all. It is, you are buying back your points at 3 cents per point.
Now, now what Clinton said here, I agree. They had to change things.
Yep.
I don't think what people are upset about is that they changed things. I think that people are upset that they fundamentally changed the value proposition of their card in a way that it functionally takes away the thing that differentiated it.
Not just their card, their program.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the cost of doing business with Wells Fargo was Wells was paying the transaction fee. Like, Wells, the reason why you had fee-free rent was Wells was subsidizing that. And that was unsustainable for Wells. That's how Wells was losing $10 million a month on the card. However, moving to this new system, moving to a much smaller card issuer, and again, like we've speculated that, you know, if they went to American Express and American Express said no, and they went to Chase and Chase said no, and they ended up with cardless at the end of the day, right? Cardless is much smaller, has a much smaller footprint. So yeah, you were going to be past this cost in some form or fashion, but it is completely disingenuous to say there's no fee on rent and mortgage when you can only get points for rent and mortgage using a Bilt card, rent and mortgage. Rent is still a little bit of a different beast, but we'll come back to that at some point. There's no fee using the card, except you get this Bilt cash on all your transactions, and your Bilt cash is what you pay to unlock your points. They don't even have the decency to call it a point buyback, which would be cleaner and fairer. It is, you're buying your points at 3 cents per point. They're calling it you're unlocking your points at 3 cents per point. Or you can do a sliding scale. Who in their right mind is going to be like, yeah, I want 10% of my rent points?
So let me ask this, right? Like, if somebody, say you don't have rent, right? Say you just, or you pay rent a different way. Like, say it's, you know, you're renting from the little old lady down the street who has, you know, the rental property or whatever, and she only takes cash. She's not, you can't PayPal her, you can't give her a check. The woman wants cash. She's going to put in her mattress. So you're not using Bilt for rent at all, right? Is there anything you can do with Bilt cash? Like, what? And I understand there was an answer, Matt. I'm simply giving you the floor. I am playing dumb for the audience's sake. If you're not able to pay rent, or say you paid your mortgage off, or you know, whatever, you don't have rent. It's through your mortgage company. You can't pay it, right? Like, you're not sending anybody a check every month. What do you do with the Bilt cash that you're accruing? Because it does, to be clear, every year, except for that $100 or whatever that rolls over, you can't roll over, and you can't, as far as I'm aware, cash it out directly.
Yeah, you can use your Bilt cash across the ecosystem, and right now they're valuing the Bilt cash at $1 in Bilt cash equals $1 is equal to $1. Sort of like super intriguing for sure. You can credit Lyft rides. You can credit purchases at Walgreens. You can credit Bilt dining purchases. I'm assuming at, like, not the ones through Rewards Network, but like their own special, like their own branches of restaurants that they have relationships with. They say that you're going to be able to unlock experiences. You can, during Rent Day, which they're going to rename Rent Day. I don't know what the new name for Rent Day is going to be, but we're going to find out in about 10 days. You can buy up to you can artificially buy your way up to another tier level to access higher transfer rates, because you do the 25, 50, 75, 100% on those. So you can buy those higher transfer rates. You can buy into experiences, as I said. You can buy into opening up Home Away from Home, which is their version of FHR, their Virtuoso inspired program. You can buy into Bilt Travel for hotels you can't do flights, but you can buy into hotels on Bilt Travel at $1 increments for now. So if you don't pay rent and you don't pay mortgage, like this could be like the Palladium card, which is the top end card at 2x everything. It could be a really interesting card for you if you don't pay rent and mortgage. If you do pay rent and mortgage, it could still be a pretty okay card, but you should just pay Bilt the 3%. Don't even do the nonsense with like giving them back Bilt cash. Just turn on the max points, pay the 3%, and that is the cost of doing business. But the fee-free stuff, well, no. REM points were never something you ever earned in Bilt 1.0. That's just no, because
that's the entire value prop was earn points on your rent. Like that's what their marketing was.
Yeah, that's what they said in 1.0. Like you were earning points for rent for free. You were earning free points on rent. It was never free, but it wasn't a gift. Like they're locking up the points. They've got the points held in escrow.
So, Tyler, I don't think the problem is that the program changed. I really don't think that the problem is that they had to change the program. I think the problem is how much they've changed the program, how convoluted the program is at certain points, what people have to do in order to get not even most of what they did before, right? And if you want to go in with Bilt, you have to go all in with Bilt. You can't necessarily pair this the way you could with Amex or with Chase or with another partner like you could before. And I think that's more the problem, not that it changed, how much it changed. It's almost like the CSR. It's not that the CSR changed, it's how the CSR changed and how much the CSR changed. I think a lot of people don't like. I think that's what we're seeing with Bilt. It's just the extremity of the change.
Yeah. The other thing with it that's kind of concerning, and I'm going to pop up the screen. Until now, people take back their word. Well, as I've been saying since yesterday, like you all owe Wells Fargo an apology. So here's the thing that's really disconcerting about about Bilt Cash. This is coming from 1 Mile at a Time. Richard Kerr, Bilt's GM of travel, recently explained this as follows, because there's an unknown about Bilt Cash. There will be monthly credits you can choose to redeem Bilt Cash for at dollar for dollar value, but honestly, we're still working on what we think those should be and what precedent we want to set. If something doesn't work for you 1 month, or you've already tapped out that redemption channel for the month, we'll have plenty of other options to redeem your Bilt Cash on top of unlimited rent and mortgage payments to earn up to 1x. Like, if they still don't have this worked out, like this launches in 16 days.
Mm-hmm. I'll put this out here. I am approved for the Palladium card. I have not taken the offer on the Palladium card. If we get $400, which is the annual fee, tonight on this live, I will do the Palladium card for a year.
Holy shit, guys. Like, I'm not even raccooning this.
No, but we have to get the annual fee, because I am not taking the annual fee of this Bilt card, but I will do it.
RJ has gone self-raccoon.
I will do self-raccooning. I will take this card. I will go on the live and take this card if we get the $400 on this live to cover the annual fee.
Yeah, and
I'll take $100 off. Don't worry. You give me $400, I'll put the 100 in.
Okay. To Charvizio's point here, so you earn points for your $7,000 rent by buying 5 bananas for $1. You have to see the math problem in that. It's charity. No way you're calling that. Wells Fargo subsidized the points on that. It wasn't charity in Bilt's mind. It wasn't even charity in your mind. You paid your rent. You did the subsequent 4 banana purchase, like the subsequent purchases to qualify for it. You therefore earned your points. All they said in 1.0 was pay your rent and with the card 4 additional transactions. That's all you needed to do. If that's what you did, you got your points. So it wasn't charity. It was Wells Fargo was paying for everything.
And thank you for the tour and the $5, guys. I do appreciate that. And Keith, you know what? If I get the money to get this card, I will only use it at Hyatt. I will stay at Hyatt's using the points from the Bilt card. I'll do it, guys. There are Hyatts in the lovely state of Vermont that I would love to go and stay at, and I'll do it. I am a woman of the people. We have 50 people in here, Matt. This is our highest that we've ever done.
That's awesome.
Tyler, I see what you mean. I compared the Venture X original benefits. They were unsustainable. Bilt was very good and OP program. They made it work as long as possible. I agree they have to pivot. I don't think Matt and I are arguing that they didn't have to change. I think we're arguing that the way they made changes isn't good.
Well, and the way that they're presenting these changes is wildly disingenuous.
Yes. Also, and look, we've harped on this before. Lonnie's talked about it. Craig's talked about it. Matt talked about it. I've talked about it. Tariq has talked about it. If Reddit is your communication device and your GM of travel is going on Reddit and making an ass of himself and going on social media and making an ass of himself, that's not good.
No.
Right? Like, that's bad. Like, Matt, are you a wrestling fan?
I used to watch wrestling, but I am not a wrestling fan as of now.
So, like, the concept of a heel, you understand the person that's like kind of a jackass on purpose, right? Like, that is a thing, right? So, like, I get being a little bit of a heel, right? Like, that could work. But there's a line you can't cross to do that. And putting up a meme of like yourself as like the defender over the normal people for the people in the Reddit basement, when you're using Reddit for your social media and for your communications, maybe just a toe or 7 over that line.
Yeah.
Daddy Room, to answer your question, I would do Hyatt. I will go all in for Hyatt if you guys make me get this card. I'll do it. I will have thoughts and feelings every week on the podcast, but I will do it. Because I got to spend the money to get the bonuses and all that. So I will be doing things. But I'll do it. Yeah, no, the hype beast and the clickbait, like, it was not good. Like, we're not arguing that Bilt should have stayed exactly the same. It's more arguing on, like, the fact that things went badly.
Yeah. You know, I can forgive a lot of the mess ups from yesterday. Like, the website didn't click over on time. Cool. It took a good 20 minutes for the website to come up. Sure. Like, those things I can absolutely forgive. Like, the AMA. The fact that, like, the AMA didn't go completely off the rails, but, like, it went far enough off the... Like, I ran the AMA through ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, how bad was this? And ChatGPT's response, hilarious as this was it didn't go completely off the rails, but it was a tire fire.
Yes.
How are those two things simpatico?
Kevin, I swear, if we get the money, I will do this. Matt knows I am a woman of my word.
Do you know how many cards I've gotten her to sign up for just on a freaking whim because I am a goddamn raccoon?
You are a goddamn raccoon. I think for next Halloween, when we do our Halloween episode, you should dress as a raccoon. Like, I feel like, we're in the Northeast, so it would be fitting. But no, I will do it. I've already been pre-ops for
like
it.
This,
but of a raccoon with a little eye mask.
With the yes.
No, I'll do it. I just need Also, a friend of mine, slightly off topic, a friend of mine had to get an Hermes plate from Saks because it was the only thing in stock for their Saks credit and their gift cards, because that's a whole different tire fire. So they just sent me a picture of the Hermes plate that they got because their last name starts with an H. So it worked for them. But this thing is ornate. It is some ornateness. But yes. But yeah, I'll palladium. I will palladium so hard, guys. But it's up to you. At what point are you just fooling yourself on credits? I mean, here's the thing. Say what you will about the CSR credits, at least they told you what they were. At least you knew how much you were getting. Isn't he wearing a raccoon costume now? Matt, your little hands.
I'm sorry. The fact that your friend bought an Hermes plate just to do the credit. Now, granted, they should do it now because Saks may or may not be around by the end of the quarter, but like
they had gift cards, so they didn't pay anything out of pocket. It was all gift cards and the credit. But they because everything, she was like on their website for like an hour and a half trying to find anything.
All I have to say to that is thoughts and prayers.
We got another $5. Thank you, Robert. If we get there, guys, I will pull the email up and I will do it while we are live.
So we're at 12. We have 388 to go.
Yeah.
There you go. So overall, like, okay, we haven't even talked about the cards. Like, the cards themselves are fine. Yeah. Here's the remarkable thing. One of the things that led to the acrimonious split between Wells Fargo and Bilt was the fact that Bilt didn't want to put an annual fee on their cards.
Right.
And Bilt was like pissed that Wells would have unceremoniously put an annual fee on the Bilt card. And I'm sure that it would have been a problem. It absolutely would have been a problem. I'm sure, like, I would have had no problem if Bilt had just blown up the relationship with, like, how dare you put an X amount of annual fee on this card, because I'm sure Wells Fargo would have fucked that up. Yeah, we're far enough in that I'm just going to curse. I don't give a shit at this point. That's fine. Slap the expletive. Here's the thing. The Obsidian card and the Palladium card, and Wells Fargo still footing the bill and just putting a monthly spend requirement. How much better would this launch have been if these three cards were on Wells Fargo?
Well, they would have, like, here's part of the thing that people aren't saying is, right, like, you have to trust Bilt, you have to do all that, but you also have to trust cardless. Like, at least say what you will about Wells Fargo, right?
And you can say lots. I know.
And you can say lots, right? And you can say lots about Chase, you can say lots about Amex. Like, I'm not even talking about the, like, legal and questionable things, right? Like, right. But say what you will about Wells Fargo, and, like, some people like them, some people hate them. You can, Juan, if you want to mention it in the Discord, go for it.
Holy shit, full raccoon.
Go full raccoon, man. Like, I'll do it. I pulled Bilt up because their pre-auth is also loaded there. Say what you want about Wells Fargo. They are a serious bank. Like, yes. They are a legitimate, serious bank. Cardless is not, right? Like, cardless is a much, much smaller, like, and cannot handle the scale of Wells Fargo, right? So, like, if Wells Fargo would have been involved, thank you, Daddy, for the 10. I will. The bananas for 15 might have to happen.
That's on you.
I'll cover the $15 bananas. I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. Wells Fargo would have been in those meetings about the cards, right? Like, presumably Wells Fargo would have been partnering with Bilt to design these cards. MR, if we get the annual fee of the Bilt card, I will take my pre-auth for it and I will run the Palladium for a year. That is what we are doing. Anyway, Wells Fargo would have been in those meetings, and presumably Wells Fargo, who actually has really good credit cards, say what you will about transfer partners, but their credit cards are incredibly strong, would have been in those meetings and would have presumably adjusted this program to something that may have made more sense, right? And more sense for both a business perspective and a consumer perspective. I'm not saying that Bilt shouldn't have changed and that they should have everything be bananas all the way down, right? Like, I'm not saying that.
Right.
But there are things that they could have done that would make more sense for everybody involved. So now you have Cardless, who doesn't have the best track record. Yep. You have Bilt, which doesn't have the best track record. And now you have these two things merging to people who, it's sort of like if you give two people with ADHD just a bunch of cocaine and set them on a problem, and like, it's like, guys, what if we have Bilt points, but we also have Bilt cash, but we also have a portal, but like the cards are mirror finished, so now we can do the cocaine off of the cards. Like, it feels like there's so much going on. Daddy Broom, I agree. The best news for Bilt 1.0 users is they can get an autograph out of this.
Yep.
Like, if this isn't going to work for you, you get an autograph, which is probably the best thing you're going to get.
Yep. And yeah, no, Bilt points are insanely valuable. I'm not here to say that Bilt points aren't valuable in any way, shape, or form. Like, they've got Hyatt, they've got Atmos, they've got JAL, all 1-to-1. Like, that is awesome. And like, the points themselves are great, but now you're paying 3 cents a point on the buyback. You're paying 3 cents a point to maybe redeem back for about 2.5. Now, if you're the rewards master, this program is going to be great for the rewards master. If there's anyone this program probably benefits, it might be rewards master. You were asking beforehand who this is designed for.
Yes.
Rewards master probably is the best bet. That's because he doesn't do hotel redemptions. He doesn't worry about low level redemptions. He'll pay domestic economy out of and domestic first out of pocket, but he does international first in business. And if he's getting 6 to 9 cents per point with his redemptions, he's going to come out way ahead, even buying his points buying back his points at 3 cents per point. Unless you're hitting that level of redemption, like, you got to hit 4.5 to 6 cents per point to make the buyback really worth it. Most people who are in this game aren't able to do that. Like, one of our Discord members, Spaithco, he's very much a proponent of buying the points buying the points and driving your value that way. Because if you can buy a point for half a penny per point, like Hilton or IHG, but you can redeem it for 0.8, 0.9, maybe even a full penny per point, you've arbitraged that in your favor. Buying a Bilt point at 3 cents per point, you have to get like 4.5 to 6 to 9 cents per point back. And that is going to be like a big question. Deb, anyone know if you can do HELOC or HOA payments for points? You used to be able to do HOA in Bilt 1.0. I would check the FAQs on this, because
Cardless is ruthless when it comes to shutting people down too, which is something I think, like, people are going to try to do taxes. We're about to hit tax season. Like, people are going to try to do all this stuff and their accounts are going to be gone. Cardless does not play with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Bender Bending Rodriguez would agree with you.
Yes.
Um,
And when thinking about the buyback, the value will depend on what else you can buy with those points instead of buying a Bilt point. Here's the thing: we don't have a guarantee that you can do what we know about Bilt Cash so far. There will be unlocks. There will apparently be limits on what you can and can't do. There's a daily limit of 1,000 Bilt Cash, a monthly limit of 5,000, and a yearly limit of 10,000 Bilt Cash that you can redeem. Cool. No, I'm sorry. Daily is 1,000, weekly is 5,000, monthly is 10,000. My apologies. That is my error. But it's.
I want to talk about this too, because I think
Yeah.
this is going to be a huge, huge thing for people. It's not coming off of your Bilt card. It's not coming off of whatever card it seems is hooked to your account anymore. It's coming straight from your bank account. So if you get paid the day after your rent is due and you used to be able to float that, you're no longer able to float that. Like, this is going to change. This might be the single biggest change for people that might negatively, and I'm not talking to people who are abusing it. I'm talking like actual people who were used to being able to have that wiggle room.
Yeah. And you can still float with your rent. Like, you can still float if you're not using the Bilt card and you're not attaching to the ACH. If you are using the Atmos card, you can still pay your rent. If you're using a United card, you can still pay your rent with the credit card. You're still going to be assessed the 3% fee, and you'll get your points that way. But that doesn't work for a mortgage. And the fact that it doesn't even go through the card and it doesn't affect your credit line, now they're moving your money for you and charging you 3% for the convenience of moving your money for you.
Because most of the portals, if you use ACH, you're not charged a fee at all. Like, if you just went to your whatever building you have, your thing. So now you don't actually, you're getting a fee for something that is feeless if you play it another way.
Yeah.
Which seems not great. I wonder how many people are just going to pay their rent through their portal with either ACH or pay it not with a Bilt card and just use Bilt for other things.
There's definitely going to be a portion of folks who are going to continue to do the sub game with credit cards. Oh, and you no longer earn Bilt points on non-Bilt credit cards, with the exception of the Atmos and the United cards. So it used to be that you could earn a point per $2, half a point per dollar with rent payments using a credit card. You were assessed the 3% fee. So you got that half a point per dollar. You got whatever rewards were on the credit card. Now it's just whatever rewards are on the credit card. So you can still do the sub hunt using Bilt as a processing agent for sure. But they took away that portion of things. You can choose not to earn any points on that. Yeah. But if you do earn points, and it doesn't matter what selection you do, they're using the ACH anyway. So if you do max points, they're using the ACH. If you're doing no points, they're using the ACH. And if you're doing the unlock, they're still using the ACH. It's only if you want to earn points on that housing payment. Sure. And you can you have the option for no points, and you're not assessed a fee. You're not the most confusing thing with this is the Bilt card says you are not you're not assessed a fee. Whatever your rent is what you pay. There's still the 3% unlock that you can do to get those points, to get the points. So you can do no fee ACH. No problem. You're just opting into no points. You can then choose to pay 3% to get the points back, or you just choose the 3% from the beginning. Good news is that these cards aren't going to break cardless. The bad news is that these cards aren't going to save cardless. The ambivalent news is cardless could just shut the cards down at any point in the middle of the night anyway.
Yes, I am feeling better. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. Thank you for the tour as well. This will help people with utilization. That is
Yes.
one positive. So there is that.
Feels like the playoffs from basketball. If you're old enough to get that reference, you know exactly what I mean. Oh, I don't even remember how the playoffs for basketball went, but like the NBA playoffs now there's an NBA Cup in season. There's the in-season NBA Cup, and if you win the in-season NBA Cup, you could be like the worst team in the league, but you will qualify for the NBA playoffs.
So one of our Discord members just dropped, and this is a screenshot from Bilt. And the shoe drops 3% fee for paying rent using this card. Without a bank account, a 3% transaction fee will apply to this card that cannot be covered by Bilt Cash. You can always change the setting later. So if you put a card in without a bank account, you get the 3% fee, and you cannot use Bilt Cash to cover that fee.
Yeah, and you can't use it if you have the Atmos. If you're using the Atmos or the if you're using the Atmos or the United card, you can't use your Bilt Cash to offset that fee.
You can't use it for any card.
Yeah. Oh, in this case, yes.
Yeah.
So there be that.
Honestly, selling points outright might have been a cleaner interface.
Yup. I mean, I would laugh at them for valuing their points at 3 cents per point to buy, but like it would have been cleaner and like less this.
Didn't Bilt just introduce the ability to pay rent and earn Bilt points with non-Bilt cards in July of 25? I don't remember when exactly it came in.
They sure did. They sure did. Didn't even last, and they took it away after 6 months. Yeah, they were nerfing it at like 2 months. Atmos card for rent seems like the best way to go forward if you value Atmos. So that way you can keep floating the credit on a credit card and buy the points via the 3% fee. Yeah, and you're buying the points at 1 cent per point. Like that is a much better value prop. Like if you are a renter, the Atmos card got significantly better via Bilt yesterday. If you don't value Atmos points, I don't know what to tell you.
Not everyone lives in a place where Atmos points are helpful, man.
Yeah. Cardless to deny current card holders, that should be a crime. That's the biggest stain. That's
an underwriting decision.
Yeah. And short card. So it is sort of on Encore and Bilt. One of the things that was a sticking point for Apple with the original version of the Apple Card, Apple wanted significant control on the underwriting process so that they could make it as liberal as possible.
Yeah. They didn't want somebody to have an iPhone, apply for the card, and be declined, because that would reflect on Apple. Nobody cared about Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. This will reflect on Bilt. Bilt should have been able to get something where it is, I get it and I don't. Like, I don't know why they're using a Novus. I don't even know what a Novus entails versus, traditional FICO. So if they're doing a Novus and a Novus's model for you is saying that you can't get the card, but somebody else can, I don't know, man. They were transitioning like 1 million card users. And it's not great that like hundreds or even thousands or tens of thousands of them won't qualify for the new card for what has to be sillier underwriting.
I mean, it's possible. I could see it. I could see them putting it in a account and getting that.
Silver, gold, and platinum members got to earn interest on their points as it stands. Yeah, J3 Carlos, they were getting denied on the transition. Credit profiles change over time. They can't honor standard underwriting credit policies. No lender would do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying give everyone a golden ticket, but like, how much different would it be for somebody who applied for the card? Now I could understand somebody who applied for the card in early 2024, right? Or like when Wells first got the card and their situations have changed and stuff like that. There are people who are getting fully denied.
There are people getting fully denied. Lonnie, welcome. No, rent payments don't go on the cards themselves. They're going straight through ACH. The card basically is just a key.
Yep.
I can't wait for Monday's episode. I might actually bring popcorn.
I'm just gonna throw up my hood and just go. And Lonnie, take it away.
Lonnie Craig gonna have some feelings and thoughts.
Take it away, take it away, take it away now.
I will say, I want to be slightly positive. The cards are pretty.
The cards are pretty and the cards are good.
Like, I like the design. I like the differentiation. Like, that part they got right.
Yeah. The fact that you got a grocery category, like it's capped at 25K, but you got a grocery category in addition to dining. Like, this is great. The Obsidian card is a great card as a companion card into a chase setup. If you are all in on, like, if you're somebody who's all in on Hyatt or United or Southwest for whatever reason, right? The Obsidian card is the perfect complement to your chase setup.
No.
It's another $95, but whatever. But it's a great complement into your setup. Now you got 3% grocery there. You got your dining. You got everything else.
Shabby, I don't think it's a problem with earning points on housing. I think it's a problem of, like, if the mortgage lender themselves was doing it, I think it would be different because they control a lot of those costs.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the third parties doing it tends to be the actual issue.
Doing CO style profitability underwriting. Maybe on their original Bilt card. That's a possibility, but there are also people who, who had like a $10,000 limit or like had a $5,000 limit on the original Bilt card, but they're able to qualify for like a $13,000 or $14,000 limit or an $11,125 credit limit on Palladium. I'm not aware of what World Legend requires because I don't know if it's a minimum $10,000 credit line like with a Visa Infinite, but it's certainly possible.
I do kind of want the World Legend, guys. I'm looking at this Bilt card. I'm just saying. Could have some fun with it. Also, we got to talk about this, Matt. I pushed a video that was prepared and waiting. If you have not gone and seen it, go check it out. Lonnie from about 6 months ago calls most of this. I'm not going to spoil the video, but go watch it. He has another one coming up in a few months that predicts something else. So sometimes, occasionally, in the middle of recording an episode, I will be told that I am cutting something out. And I will go and I will pull it out. Now, if you're a Diamond member, stackyourpoints.com/membership, if you're a Diamond member, you actually get to see all of this happen. And Rex got to see a couple of bits of movie magic on our last recording.
Yep. Can confirm.
So that was very fun. So,
yeah, the Innovis thing is that's a worry. Can't believe executives. The Evolve folks had to apply for a new card to go to Wells. This is a whole new issuer, and they weren't able to buy the back book and bring the back book over, which that would have cost so much money, just an unspeakable amount of money.
This honestly might be the best built duo, like legitimately.
So the Rakuten card Hold on. The Rakuten card is +4 to any Rakuten multiplier on up to $7,000 in spend. 10 times Rakuten dining, which is the same as Bilt dining on the rewards across rewards network. So you use the Rakuten for the dining for those dining restaurants, not the Bilt card. It would stack, but you're going to get 7 with the Bilt card versus 10 with the Rakuten card. The Rakuten card is 2x on grocery, 2x on, is it regular dining or is it gas?
I think it's 2x on dining. I have this card and I don't use it for anything but Rakuten. Hold, please. That is not the word I typed. It is 2 grocery and restaurant.
Okay. So you're increasing grocery or restaurant base by 1 with the Obsidian. You're still getting a crazy amount of Bilt points through Rakuten. Yeah, I could see it. Your other option, no, it's a pretty decent setup because the Rakuten card's no annual fee, 10x Rakuten dining, 4x on 7,000, like an additional 28,000 points through the Rakuten spend, 2x uncapped on grocery and dining, and then you've got either 3x on grocery up to 25k, and 3x on dining if you chose dining, 2x on travel. It's an okay setup.
Lonnie is in fact Nostradamus.
Yeah. Give me the what do you call it? Give me the modular card. How generous do you think Bilt's card will code? I don't know. First thing I'm doing is testing Walmart for groceries. That's fair. Use Amex Gold for all groceries at the moment, so it feels weird splitting it, especially since I'm not a Bilt ecosystem person, huge traveler at the moment. It's fair.
Okay, it makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense for them using it because, like, Bilt is a rental company at this point. Like, that's what a lot of their business is. So that part does make sense.
Pro tip, Rakuten card is giving me several data points. Still get 4x when using other shopping portals.
Matt's going to get it and start using it on Rove.
No. So here's the thing that wasn't addressed yesterday, and I'm kind of shocked that it wasn't addressed yesterday. The Bilt Palladium card gives you gold status for 23 months.
It does.
But they didn't highlight any additional features for status or any other reason to go after status. Right now, the only reasons to go after status, and they're valuable reasons. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say that they're bad, they're not reasons to go after status, but it's 1-to-1 Rakuten conversions and it's higher transfer capabilities. They've tacked on a bunch of other stuff onto Platinum, but like 50k in spend unlocks Platinum status. Why wouldn't you just do fee free if you put 50,000 through, like fee free rent, true fee free rent and such, if you put 50,000 through the card every year?
Is it possible? Like, some of this, I wonder if they're waiting to see how many people they get before adding some of this stuff.
They should probably consider doing that sooner than later, because they did not have it was not yesterday was not clean.
No, but say 35% don't come over, right?
Yep.
Like, maybe at that point they're like, okay, here's the contingency if 20% don't come over, here's the contingency of 30%. Like, maybe they have some of this stuff in contingency just so they have some idea.
Yeah.
J3 Carlos, Amex Gold product protection is 10k per item up to 50k a year, but for me, what I see Palladium is only 1,000 per loss. That's big for me for big purchases. The gold wins there.
Yeah, that's not great. That is
Hers
definitely great.
mentioned he has transfer bonuses already planned out for the rest of the year, but don't like gambling and hopes one's useful for me. No one wants a transfer bonus to Spirit. Stinky Monkey Baby, also great name. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Like those transfer bonuses, like if one comes up to, United, that would work out well for some people, but if you fly Delta like I do, then that may or may not be super helpful.
Yeah. I mean, they would have to get Delta for you to even care. But
the IHG part is cool, but I have the IHG card, so I'm getting 3x on everything versus 2x with the Palladium.
yes.
And with Hilton, I have 7 cards that will give me higher than 2x on Hilton. So like, why would I want a 1-to-1 with Hilton? Like if it was 1-to-2 with Hilton, that would be interesting, right? Like I could, in theory, do some mental math there.
Yeah.
But I can't mental math a 1-to-1 with Hilton. Is that one of the issues with Bilt communications? They don't have stability. Yeah, like the fact that their communications are as bad as they are, I think I'm always going to harp on. I harp on this with Amex. Like they took 3 cards down off of their website and they still, over a year, almost a year later, have not addressed it.
Also, yep.
I want to see how many people get the Palladium for the sub and drop. That honestly could be next year, next February, could be a slaughter.
Also, yeah.
Or even not just Palladium, like any of the 3, because you can only have 1. Cardless is, you get 1, and Cardless has rejected people from cards that are completely unrelated a decade after they've had them.
Yeah, they're supposed to be fixing that. They haven't been the best at fixing that, which not great. That's a whole other problem to this whole thing. But you're going to see a bunch of people. You've already seen a ton of people already saying, like, I'm just going to grab Palladium for the year, test it out, and I'll probably downgrade or cancel next year. There's no clear downgrade path right now. Kerr has said that they're working with Cardless to make that a viable option over the next 12 months. So, like, you're locked in for the year.
Right.
But if they don't get it done in the year, and I'm not saying they're not going to, if you don't have that option next year, a lot of people are just going to cancel the card. And there are people who are just planning their off ramp of, I'm going to get Palladium, I'm going to hold it for a year, I'm going to cancel it after the year, and I'm done with Bilt at that point. Like, that is also a pretty damning statement. And I've seen that from at least one credit card YouTuber. I've seen a number of other credit card YouTubers who have said, like, I'm going to get it for the year, I'm going to test drive it, but I don't see myself holding this past year 1.
Yeah. Like if I got it, if you guys decide to bequeath the annual fee, I don't know. Like I know where the points would go. Like that's not the issue, right? Like the issue is if I don't have gold, which I'm not going to put enough spend through to get gold again, because I have other like means of doing things, right? Like at that point, it is a 1-year card. Like Palladium really, unless you're somebody who is all in on Bilt every single year, it's a 1-year card at the very, very most, if it's a card for you at all.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a keeper for sure. And if you're comparing it to the Venture X, I do think, and like you're going to commit, it's definitely a keeper card. Full stop. I said a couple days before the launch, like one of the things that Bilt is asking you is, are you in? If you're in, Palladium's awesome. If you're not in, they don't have a lot of options for you.
You have to be in, but have a high enough spend threshold, though. Like if you're somebody you could use this for every single purchase you make every single year, And if you only, quote, only spend 20,000 through this card, it's not probably worth it for you.
Yeah, no, they want this to be your number one card. They want this to be the only card you carry.
Even if 20,000 is what you spend every single purchase, and it's your only card.
Yeah, 40,000 points a year is not. Yeah, get a cashback card.
Like the problem is not that you have to go all in with Bilt. The problem is you have to go all in and be making $150,000 a year and be putting 75 to 80 to whatever through this card, right? Like, excuse me. This card is not meant for people who have $20,000 or $30,000 worth of spend, because on that level you might get to silver, but you're not going to reliably get to gold or platinum every year. Like the spend does not math that way.
Yeah. No, it sure doesn't.
MR says he wouldn't be surprised if they launch their own bank next.
Well, you have the former CEO of American Express sitting as the chairman of your board. He couldn't bring American Express in as your card issuing partner. You probably struck out with the other big banks after they watched Wells Fargo light hundreds of millions of dollars on fire, because Wells was in for at least $500 million on this. There's the investment into Bilt that they did. I don't know what the exact investment in Bilt is that they're still holding on to. They were paying $200 a card to Bilt, a card that was created to Bilt. So Bilt got $200 per card that was accepted, and they were covering the rental fees. And there was something else that they were covering. Like the rental was costing them $10 million a month. That's $120 million a year. $200 million went out in the bonus to Bilt, the commission to Bilt for bringing them a customer. And there's their untold investment that they'll still make some money on, but they got to make they'll probably end up net positive from what they invested into Bilt, but they have lost at least $500 million on this project.
Yeah. I want to read some of the comments. Guys, our StreamYard's being weird. I can't actually pull the comments up, so I'm just reading them off. I'm going to get through a couple of these. Kerr already mentioned in the AMA there'd be monthly caps on how much Bilt cash you can use for hotel bookings. That's gonna really annoy some people. It's literally an MR. It's literally an entire new ecosystem. Things will get better or worse. I also wouldn't be surprised if they launch their own bank next. 50,000 points is a weak sauce for a card that costs $500. Hoping to upgrade to Palladium after a year,
which makes sense.
We'll see how they do that. I mean, it's very possible that upgrading may be more difficult than. I've applied for Palladium and they put me on review. Is that a good sign? Probably not.
Don't know offhand.
You might get the card. Is it a good sign? Probably not.
Yeah, we'll double check, because there are a lot of folks who applied for Palladium but were told no on Palladium, but were given the option of Obsidian or Blue as an option. Don't know what the upgrade path will be. I'm sure they're going to look at an upgrade and downgrade path for cards over the next year. And I know Charvizio didn't get accepted for Palladium now, but was offered one of the other two cards. They just chose not to do it, I think.
I think the worst part of the 50K sub is the fact that rent doesn't count towards the spend requirement. Bilt wants 4K non-rent spend. It's tough.
It's tough, but that's a credit card. That's just a credit card offer, man.
Yeah. Keith, I don't know why they'd announce a new program and not release all the details of the program. Status benefits should be an easy thing to list, but they omitted it. Because I don't think they have the problem is I think they had a date where they needed to release and they don't have all the details. I think they'll be working probably until the night before it actually goes live, finalizing details.
That's a failure on Kerr and Anker. Yeah. That is a major failure on both of them. Kerr has been working on this for months. Yeah. They've known since at least August. trying to spin up a new card in 6 months is probably not a good idea.
John doesn't know if he's going to get one of the cards. It's essentially a 15% return on spend for subs. Still not bad. I get that other bonuses are inflated right now, but they never even had a bonus before now. But here's the thing. If you want 50,000 Hyatt points, there are easier ways to get 50,000 Hyatt points. Especially with the Hyatt card right now with everything going on with it. Which I think Hyatt put it out specifically.
To blunt Bilt, that would be hilarious.
People dislike the Mesa $1,000 requirement, but this is essentially the same thing, but a sliding scale up to 75% of your mortgage.
Yep.
Matt, there were over 1 million Bilt 1.2 cards or 1.0 cards in circulation? ?
I think the final number ended up being around 880,000, but rounding up to 1 million.
Roughly 1 million.
Yeah.
How likely is it the cards won't get turned on the 7th and transactions get declined? I mean, what's the option? Like, those cards probably aren't going to be to people necessarily, depending on when they do the thing. That's going to be interesting.
Well, they're promising that you'll get your card by the 6th. By being the operative word there.
By, yeah.
Which is why they opened up applications yesterday. So that, folks are going to... Apparently the site crashed because of the influx of applications that were coming in. Spencer at one point in his live, I think, mentioned that they got like 50,000 applications in the first 15 minutes or something like that. So like there was a huge push for it. And then people read about the program. So I'm not sure how many thousands more came in after that.
Okay, so they don't have the details worked out. I predict they will continue to change things after the program starts, and they're going to, because that's what Bilt did before.
And all programs are going to assess and change over time, like Chase.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most consistent from like when they start to until they announce something is probably Bank of America. They move at like a
glacial
aircraft carrier like churn radius.
Yeah. Although they are changing.
Ahead.
Sorry, they are making changes to premium rewards or preferred rewards.
They're making changes, but they've announced the changes, and they're not going to like tinker. They're just going to announce changes. There will be changes, and then there will not be changes again until they announce new. You know what I mean? Like they don't tinker in the meantime.
Yes.
It's a race to see who sends the card first, Wells or Bilt.
Oh, Wells.
Clinton, I thought they said the card number would stay the same. If so, are they cutting the back end from Wells to cardless to go on the live date? And would the old card still work? No, because you need the 3-digit code, I would imagine.
You still need the CVV, yeah. They'll update the CVV, they'll update the expiration if you choose to opt in. If they opt you in. Yeah. Nothing that's happened in the last day or so is filling me with like, oh yeah, this is going to be seamless.
I want the old site crash gimmick at launch. Insert eye roll emoji. I mean, your phone service went down, Keith, that day.
It was an ACA level fuck up for them.
So even a $95 annual fee wouldn't offset all Wells losses? No, it wouldn't have.
A straight 95? No.
If you do nothing, you get the autograph crack. Just to triple confirm this. Now I decide if I want to do 2.0 as a 1.0 user. I believe it's automatic.
I believe it's automatic. If you choose to close down your Wells Fargo and Bilt account, you'd be opting out of both. If you opt into 2.0, you have the option to remain a Wells Fargo customer. And if you do, you'll get converted over to an autograph card. If you decide to close your account, Bilt will work with Wells Fargo to close your account, supposedly. And both will get shut, will get closed down. But I would just If the autograph is interesting to you, I would just get the autograph. If it's really worrisome to you to get a welcome offer on the autograph, you can close your Bilt account, they'll close your Bilt account now, sign up for an autograph tomorrow.
Daddy Vroom, when I applied for the card, I had a weird message about how ending changes in the last few days would actually end up going to the new card rather than the old one. Don't know exactly how that works. That's interesting.
There's something about pending changes.
I want the autograph. I like, even as a cashback card, I kind of want the autograph, Matt. Wells Fargo just doesn't want me.
It's a swell card. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it so much.
If Wells Fargo Journey Beyond is good, I might get it since the Palladium denied me. We have to wait for the Beyond before we can decide that.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be a long while.
Matt, do you want to talk just for a minute? Take a little Bilt break. Talk for a minute about, there was some news that broke that some Wells Fargo cards might be coming out. I think that's now broken enough that you can make comments about it.
Yeah. So Doctor of Credit had it from a reader that they were speaking to their premier banker and a banker, and their banker told them that there was going to be a new card launching on the 6th of February. Very interesting date. And it was going to be just like the autograph Journey, same annual fee, but like a better all around card. And so a couple weeks ago when I was intimating that, like, hey, I know things. I knew that a buffed up Journey card would be coming, and it's going to be the same annual fee. You have to be a Wells Fargo Premier customer to qualify for it. There's also going to be one for Wells Fargo Private Client. It's going to be the same annual fee, $95. It's going to now have it's now going to have Visa Infinite protections, Visa Infinite capabilities. It's going to be Visa Infinite card. It'll have its own dedicated customer service line at Wells Fargo. Same annual fee, same minimum spend, 4 months, $4,000 in 3 months, but the cards will have 100,000 point welcome offers to start.
The 100,000 point is, I think, the biggest interesting part of that.
Yep. But you do have to have Premier, which to waive fees on Premier, you have to have at least $250,000 in assets with Wells Fargo. Private Client is at least $1 million, I think. Probably.
How much are the fees?
The fee on Premier is $35 a month.
So what? That's $420 annual fee for the card, if you want to do it that way.
Theoretically, I've been told that there are workarounds, but theoretically, I'd be in for 400.
I'm going the traditional route of just giving the numbers.
Yeah, it would be $515 for
$515.
Yeah, $515. Which I like the autograph Journey. It's an interesting.
Not for $515.
Not for $515. Hell no.
It is interesting now that they have JetBlue, because JetBlue and United have their partnership.
Yep. Which still needs further expansion.
Right. But of how many people are going to be using the United JetBlue thing and now might come to Wells Fargo that weren't looking at them before.
Yeah.
Like one of our colleagues and friends.
Yep. Well, yeah, I doubt that's going to happen, but
I don't know. So let me ask you this. We've seen Bilt launch their premium card. We've seen the CSR be refreshed.
Yep.
We've seen the Platinum be refreshed.
Yep.
The Palladium Platinum, like, tongue twister is going to be strong the first couple of times we talk about that. But we've seen Citi, American Express, Chase, and Bilt all update or put out a premium card.
Mm-hmm.
Does that landscape that Wells Fargo would be walking into give you more or less hope for what the beyond might look like?
Wells needs to do something different. And they don't just need more transfer partners, they need a differentiating transfer partner. I think one of the things that Wells really should be looking at, in all seriousness with them, is adding Amtrak as a transfer partner, going rail. They should consider looking at cruise programs. I don't know what sort of things you can do with a cruise program, but they should consider a cruise program. Because like just having the same old like promiscuous transfer partners on hotels and airlines isn't going to get people in the door to your cards. Your cards are good. The cards are good, right? They're better earning cards than Chase. They're better earning cards than American Express.
They're some of the best, like, and I don't say this as a pejorative, they're some of the best cashback cards you're going to find.
For sure. And Don Cam asked, is Wells in the premium card market though? Doesn't seem like it's their market. It wasn't their market while they were constrained under the asset cap. Credit cards can be a way to get folks into being cross-sold other things.
Right.
It's not like the easiest or the best way to do it, but it is an avenue. Like they're hiring folks, they're stealing folks away from Vanguard, they're stealing folks away from BlackRock, they're stealing folks away from big asset management portfolio companies. They've been hiring folks from Chase for the credit card division for the longest time. So they have aspirations to do more in these fields. Mm-hmm. Don't know what they're going to do on mortgages, but like with the cap lifted and now being whatever you want, I think there's a better opportunity for them to go into a premium space if they so choose. The question is going to be, what are they going to define as premium? Palladium's being defined as premium at $495. The Venture X is still, described as premium at $395, and then you go up to there's $595 along the way, but then it's the Sapphire Reserve at $795 and the Platinum card at $895. I don't think Wells is going to go as high as $785 or $895. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to go that high because they don't have the partnerships to offer, the coupons that are going to make it that are going to be necessary to subsidize that annual fee. So now it's a question of, do they go $550? Do they go as high as $650? I don't know. And if you're going in with the transfer partners that they have now and $650, it's going to be a dud. They need to bring in a program that's going to be more value driven. And I don't just mean like ultra low cost carrier value. I mean like a program like Cathay Pacific that can drive some pretty good value for flights on British Airways, where you avoid the huge fees that British Airways charges to land in London. If they can land Cathay Pacific, that would be amazing. If they can find on the hotel front, they're kind of screwed because if you can't get Hyatt, IHG is probably the next best option for them overall with a huge footprint. If you're not getting Hyatt or Marriott, I'm sorry, Hilton. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hyatt or Marriott. Hilton should be an option theoretically, but Hilton reasonable redemptions or like best overall redemptions are kind of all over the place. I don't know that Wells can necessarily hang their hat on that because you earn 3 times points on gas or 5 times points on hotels, and then you transfer them over and you get not great value. That would suck. Amtrak points are the most expensive. You probably need a ratio to for the transfer rate. Sure.
But nobody has them.
Yeah.
So
That would
even if
be
they were, say they were at the worst 2-1, it's better than nothing.
yeah. Would it make sense to use my new autograph for gas only for 1 day to eventually use the points on something, or just use my Chase Unlimited 1.5, also praying for Robinhood 3%? I
You
mean,
can
the
always
autograph,
cash out Wells.
yeah. Gas at 3 would be nice. Depending on how deep into Chase you are, you also have the option for phone, phone and internet, because they count internet as part of their streaming. Then it's 3x dining, 3x streaming, dining. Oh, the other thing with the autograph, you just lost Chase's travel category, broad travel category. This replaces Chase's broad travel category. They've got pretty much everything that you lost with Chase.
Cross-selling was the original idea of Bilt. That went less well.
It was. Wells has also been slowly getting out of the mortgage game. Like they've been, like, mortgage has taken less of a priority for them. Probably because, big companies have been buying out a ton of stuff. I've been buying out inventory. Wells cards are good. I hope they keep the autograph no annual fee. Don't want to try and copy Amex and Chase. No, they're just going to introduce other autographs. Like, you'll have the no annual fee autograph. You have the autograph journey at 95, and you'll have eventually the autograph beyond. But we'll see what happens there.
They do have choice.
They do have choice. Choice is their only hotel, but like, your other options are going to be things like Wyndham and maybe a core, but banks get a core at 1-2 or 2-1. Rove is getting it 1.5-1. Bilt has it at 1.5-1. Mesa had it at 1.5-1, although we see how much good that was. Like Wells adding Air India would be interesting. Wells adding Turkish Miles and Smiles would be good. Adding Aeroplan would be good. But like, that's just stuff on top of what other programs already have. They need something unique to bring in. Amtrak would be great for that, which would be awesome. I don't necessarily see that being an option.
Chevy asked, are Wells and Chase the only ones with 1 cent per point cash outs? If you have a Bilt, not a Bilt, if you have a Smartly checking account,
yep,
you can cash out directly there. If not, it's a statement credit with US Bank.
Yeah. And Citi, the cashback cards can be cashed out at 1 cent per point. The travel cards, the Strata Premier and Strata Elite, would be capped at 0.7. But the double cash, custom cash, and I think the Strata, but definitely the double cash and custom cash can be cashed out at 1 cent per point. Skates mentioned that Omni would be interesting. I would love to see Omni, but that was 30,000 points to 100 credits, and then the company died in a week. So I don't know that Omni wants to sign up with anybody else, even if it's a reputable bank.
Yeah.
Wells kind of okay for hotels, but they don't have Marriott or Hilton. Not that those are good value, just everywhere. Yeah, they kind of need somebody who's everywhere. That's what I'm looking for.
The problem, IHU would be good. I think the thing is, like, sometimes the best redemption is a hotel where you need it to be.
Yeah.
And the thing with Hyatt is, like, Hyatt is great if you're in a major city. But if you're, doing sports or something else, like, you just don't always have a Hyatt where you need there to be a Hyatt.
Yeah.
I'm going to an IHG in the middle of New Hampshire in 2 weeks because I'm doing a weekend away on my own. And it's a brand new IHG property and it's gorgeous looking. I'm so excited. But there's not a Hyatt, like, I think, in the state of New Hampshire. I'm sure there are, but you get my point.
Yes. Sorry, I just got an offer in my email from Capital One for $25 off of Capital One travel if I spend at least $100. No.
Breaking news: star outfielder Kyle Tucker and the Los Angeles Dodgers are in agreement on a free agent contract.
Oh boy. Who would have thought that the Dodgers, the woefully underperforming Dodgers, who've won 2 World Series in a row, who can't possibly live without paying $50 million a year to Kyle Tucker on top of every other player they have. Oh, woe is me, the Dodgers. How
I don't know how I don't know how the Dodgers attracted somebody, because they're such a down and out franchise. Having Hyatt as your primary requires you to have a second program. Like it does.
It does.
Like, unless you have a very specific travel. Dodgers deferring Tane's contract should be illegal. It should be.
The fact that they I think they're also deferring Yamamoto's.
Yeah. Like,
I'm sorry, the rich get richer. I'm news at 11.
And the Red Sox are losing everyone because they hate me.
Well, they have 11 starting pitchers.
Yes, but some of those pitchers are going to have to play in the field because we need fielders.
It's fine.
Yeah. Remember when we had Daisuke? Remember those years?
I remember when the Mets got Daisuke and he was good for like 3 weeks.
Here's to $60 parking. Doesn't LA just have horrible traffic regardless of their sports teams? Is that not like a thing for LA? A lot of fans could complain about the money the Dodgers spend, but Mets fans.
Oh no, we set money on fire as well, and like we're not doing it properly, but like we would have spent the same amount of money that the Dodgers did, and like we have a spot in the lineup where like he could have. It is what it is. Like they've won 2 World Series with Kike Hernandez in left field. Like I don't think they're hurting in any way, shape, or form.
Former Red Sox. Look, Matt, I always call out former Red Sox, okay?
That's fine.
No, see, the Yankees didn't used to do that. Like, I don't like the Yankees, but they used to win baseball games. The Mets didn't defer the contract like the Dodgers.
Yeah, because paying a player what he's worth right then and there is such a terrible thing.
I mean, everybody looked at Bobby Bonilla and they're like, we're not doing it that way, at least.
Hooray.
How many years before Bobby Bonilla has been paid his like $5 million spread out for 37 years?
9.
9 more years?
9 more years. Steve Cohen could end this at any time. Anytime. He could just give him the big giant Oompa Loompa check in center field right on July 1st. He could just give him the big stupid publisher clearinghouse check and just say, get the fuck out. Here you go. Meme over. And maybe we'll start winning things again.
It would be funny if year 10 is the year that the Mets win the World Series, like the year after you have finally paid off Bobby.
It's just, again, it's not about the money with Kyle Tucker. It's just, okay, why did you wait this long for the Dodgers were always going to have the money. Why did you string it out this long?
That is fair.
Rupert, I want to vomit.
Are you actually a Mets fan, Rupert? The Mets only have 2 contracts on the book for 2028. One of them would be Bobby.
I don't even care what the Mets did this offseason. Like, all right, we brought in Polanco. Yay. We're doing a lot of hoping and praying. And I like
All right.
Mark Vientos. Well,
Okay, I'm a Yankees fan, but I like Poppy.
I'm gonna
Feel
go
like-
vomit now.
I like
Hope
that.
more teams bash trash cans against you guys.
Any other Bilt related thoughts, Matt?
This was a bad. This was. I didn't think there was a launch that could be as bad as the Sapphire Reserve refresh. Bilt found a way. There's still so much we still don't know. The marketing feels like the marketing feels incredibly disingenuous, like pushing the idea that this is a 3.33%, a 3.33x catch-all is just a serious amount of copium because of what's happened. And like, you were always going to get, like, they were always going to pass the fee on to you after Wells Fargo stopped the gravy train. There was no way that they should have approached it like this. Like, keep the 3% fee, have the 3% fee there, and like count the 3% fee toward your spend toward status or something. Like, there was plenty of other ways that this could have been done. And they chose the worst possible path.
I did. It's that magical time, everyone, where we have finished our prepared topics. And now I go to the Stack Your Live, because I did ask for some questions to start.
Yeah, really an hour.
This is so Spaithco. Spaithco, I asked for questions, and this is the one he submitted, and I feel like it deserves time. Are we sure we didn't all die during COVID, and this is hell?
Okay. I think it was hell long before COVID, first and foremost. Have you seen there's this Facebook reel I saw a couple of days ago from this woman who was explaining that all of our troubles started when the Chicago Cubs won the World Series.
Won the World Series. I have seen that, yes.
And now the only way to fix destiny is for the Chicago Bears to win the NFL championship, to win the Super Bowl. And frankly, if that's what it takes, where do I sign?
I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm a diehard Green Bay Packers fan. Matt has heard me go on rants about the Green Bay Packers, much to his chagrin at times, but he has heard them.
Yeah.
I would accept the Chicago Bears winning the Super Bowl if we can go back to the other timeline. Like, if we can go back to the good timeline, I would accept a Chicago Bears Super Bowl. I will not accept a Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl, but I would accept a Bears Super Bowl.
Caleb, I know you're not watching this, but fucking do it, man.
So AP has asked for our worst flight or hotel experience. We've done this on the podcast before. There have been weapons used, prophylactics, charged by the hour places. Any other stories you would like to bring up, Matt?
For whatever reason, anytime I have like a thing, a like legit thing for travel that I have to do, my flights always get delayed. I had to go down to North Carolina for I was flying to RDU for my college friend's wedding, and just luck of the draw, really bad storm that delayed us for about 2 hours. Landing, the storm was so bad. So like getting off the plane was a bit of a hassle. Getting on the ground was a bit of a hassle. So I was at least like 4 hours behind when I walked into the Enterprise rental place, and the woman just looked at me and said, "You look like you're having a really bad day. I see your rental in the system." So at least they had the rental. Like it wasn't going to be one of those things where like I went through all of the like nonsense on the plane with the plane, and then they didn't have my rental. But
that would have been rough.
Yeah, I booked like just like a standard sedan, and she looked at me and she was like, yeah, to fix your day, I'm gonna give you a Mustang.
That's nice. I have told in bits and drabs, Matt knows the story. I've told in bits and drabs that I was supposed to go to Hawaii this year. This is not the worst. So this is not a Craig hijacked in Miami level story.
No,
but it is a story.
Watch the pod.
Watch the pod. I was on a plane that was going to go to Hawaii, or go to a layover to go to Hawaii. Pilot comes on, ladies and gentlemen. There's a ground stoppage in Detroit. We only expect it to be about half an hour delay. We have about a 2-hour delay. So I'm like, we're good. This is why I put delays in. Cool. The people are starting to give out drinks to first class. Everything's good. Pilot comes on. Maintenance is looking at something on the aircraft. We don't anticipate it's a big deal. The plane has been there all night, by the way. Like it was a flight that came in the night before, and we're the first flight out the next morning. Cool. Sitting there, chilling. I'm like looking up the ground stoppage on my phone to see if there's any information about Detroit. All of a sudden, pilot comes back on. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a part for the plane. It is several hours away. We will not be taking off today.
Nice.
Cool. So we get off the plane. They cannot get us to Hawaii for 36 hours. Past when we were supposed to be there, because it's like we got to go from here to somewhere else to LAX to Hawaii, and there's like 8 hours of layover at each stop. Cool. So we cancel the trip, and I want to do a trip. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go San Diego, because I'm a huge animal person, and I wanted to see the zoo there. San Diego is one of the best zoos in the world. So plan the trip. Cool. I'm supposed to leave at like 11 in the morning. Didn't want a super early flight. Worked out great. Go to the airport. My flight's delayed. Cool. There's a flight that's supposed to leave at exactly the same time. It goes through Detroit instead of Atlanta. That flight is delayed. Switch to a third flight. Cool. Leaves at 3 p.m. I go get a bagel and chill out for a couple hours. That flight is also delayed. Cool. There's another one that leaves at the same time that goes through. That one, the third one went through Atlanta. This one goes through Detroit again. Cool. Get to Detroit. Flight to San Diego is delayed till 1 a.m. Nope. Get a hotel. Fly out the next day to San Diego. Have a wonderful time in San Diego. Come home. Everything goes perfectly fine. So that was a slog of a change of a change of a change of a change. Still got 2. And I had to go to Comfort Plus for part of this. Still had a wonderful time in San Diego. So that would probably be the worst experience I've had lately that did not involve bodily fluids in rubber in hotel rooms.
Yeah, I've come across a couple of those from time to time. Oh yeah, and like other weddings that I've been invited to, like I've also had weather delays. I've never had the plane is broken, but I've had it always rains whenever I fly to a wedding. So like if you're having a wedding, I have to drive there.
So JFO1833 asked 2 questions. I'm going to do the second one first. I referred a lot of people to Bilt 1.0. They are all now asking about Bilt 2.0. How would you even begin to explain it? How would you explain Bilt 2.0?
So, do you like the Venture X? Yes. Can you get the Venture X? No. Try for this card and pay your transaction fee for rent and mortgage, get an extra couple of points along the way, and be happy.
Not the worst explanation. Do they force us all to use travel portals because they suck versus just crediting direct plane? They force us because they get a commission. I honestly, this would be my answer. They get a commission, plus they can also play with. You get 10,000 points versus $300 versus this versus that. They can
manipulate it a little bit easier.
Yeah. So for the Hawaii portion, I just got refunded everything. I had travel insurance, got refunded. I got certain. I got about half of my hotel because Detroit has a hotel in the airport. I was not leaving the airport to come back the next day. Like I was not, because it was like 11 o'clock in Detroit. I am not going out to wherever. I'm just going to go to the hotel there. So I did that. So I did get a little bit back off of that. JFO 1833, second question. Assuming that you could not change the actual cards or terms, how would you have managed the Bilt 2.0 rollout differently? Not used Reddit as a primary source.
Not use Reddit as a primary source. Stayed with Wells Fargo. I think there was very definitely a way that they could have gotten away, or they could have negotiated with Wells to create these cards with annual fees and welcome offers attached, and allowed for like free rent to still be a thing without it being free rent, and like have a basis of something new and potentially more profitable that, I don't know, might be around in 3 years. Like, again, they're betting their ability to be a credit card on this. This is their last chance to be a credit card, to have a credit card. Like, I don't think they get another bite of the apple unless they start their own bank. They don't get another shot. Like, they went from Evolve, and that was fine to start. They needed a bigger bank to because they were growing, and they thought like that the growth was going to continue. It did. They went to a bigger bank. They pissed off that bigger bank and decided that they were smarter than the bigger bank. And now, like, the bigger bank, the relationship with the other bigger bank got so bad that it spooked off every other big bank, to the point that they had to settle for cardless. They don't get another shot if this fails.
You know what would be interesting? And only because of partner overlap, if they had not pissed off Wells Fargo, if they had not lost them so much money, is like Chase. Especially with United and Hyatt, right? Like, if they had figured out a way to make that partnership work, that kind of is a natural, perfect partnership.
Their only, like, their next option, if they want to continue, like, they could, if this fails with cardless, they have two paths that they could go down from there. Path A is just become a rewards network, a rewards ecosystem, and that is probably what they will end up doing. That might work for a while. It seems to be sustainable, being a conduit for passing your rent charges and giving points for your rent seems to be a way to make money for them. That's fine. Path B, sell to a bank and like become, ingrained in with that bank, and like bring those contracts to the brand, bring the contracts that you have with transfer partners into the bank. You may lose one or two transfer partners after that conversion, but like Chase buying Bilt, if this fails, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because it's a lot of the same partners.
Yeah. I don't know if Wells has any sort of like first right of refusal from their initial contracts or anything like that, but like Wells or Chase buying Bilt would be a great lifeline if this card fails.
The rent card is no longer the rent card, period. The end. It is now only for elite spenders and travelers. I'm a normal Joe. Like, you have to have 30, 40, 50, $60,000 in spend a year, or this card does not make a lot of sense, especially after that first year when you don't get gold.
Yeah.
Like, if you got gold every year, that would be one thing.
And gold, I think right now is like 25,000 spend to maintain. So if you have 25,000 spend, you put all of that through and you maintain gold, that'd be great. But like,
what does gold get you?
Not that much. Like, interest on points, higher transfer rate during the transfer bonuses, and that's kind of it. Like a home buying concierge as well. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you have 100,000 in spend, I can understand you doing certain things.
Yeah. Like, it is not a card for low spenders. It could be a card for those who have decent spend and low mortgages, for sure. It can be a decent card for those who have moderate spend and like not terrible rent. Like, if you could game it where your spend could get you without doing 75% of your mortgage or rent based off of your spend.
Like, that is the one thing I think the credit card community is not very good at talking about, is like, yeah, if you have $50,000 worth of spend every year, a lot of these programs make sense, right? If you have a couple 100,000 in Bank of America, one way or another, it makes sense. And like, some of that can be mortgage and other things, right? But like, everybody talks about credit cards, and I'm using everybody sort of as a catch-all, but everybody talks about credit cards as if you have high enough spend where you can do X, Y, and Z. And with Bilt, like, it has to be a certain level of spend or you're just not gonna get it. Am I getting that important? Yeah. Like, if you do 20,000 of spend and that's your entire spend,
yeah,
like, you're like, people talk about the Surpass and the Aspire, and they're like, well, you just spend, 15,000 here, and then you updo it and do 30 here, and it's like, okay, but that's a lot of spend. And yeah, I understand that people in the credit card game, a lot of people in the credit card game do have extreme amounts of spend, but a lot of people in the credit card game don't have a lot of spend, and like, they're trying to stretch things farther because of that. And I don't think we talk about it. This may go to my topic this week. I don't think we talk about it well in credit cards of like, if you have 10, 15, 20,000, like, you may want to go perks over points. You might want to just straight up buy points in everything and just go that route. You may want to do certain things that like aren't going to be the conventional wisdom. That's all going to matter, like, in a way that doesn't get talked about, because the people who are pushing certain cards are assuming you have 50, 60, $70,000 of spend.
Yeah.
Like, if I had Keith spend, my outlook on things would be very different. And I only pick on Keith because he's a dear friend of the channel. But
Yes.
like, and he talks about how much spend he puts through certain business things, and like, I just don't have that spend.
Yep.
Like, so the ability to do things is somewhat different. But a lot of people who are talking about credit cards are assuming that sort of type of level of spend.
Yeah. And they do have their own lounge network. Their lounge network is still slowly growing. Anything extra can help. But yeah, but if your baseline is in the stratosphere compared to other folks, like most people, right? If the median income in the United States is around what, 50, maybe 50,000, probably closer to 48 median.
So here's the problem with this, Keith. You have a thick credit profile.
Yeah.
You have the spend when you apply for a card and you put your annual income and they pull your reports. You have the ability to get those cards. I can't get a sub on anything right now.
Well,
I can't. Okay. I can't get a sub on anything I want right now. Like the cards I want, I can't, I have to go about a year before I'm going to get anything again. And a lot of people like just don't have the thick enough credit profile to just be able to constantly go for subs. And that's something that the community, again, does not talk about enough.
Yeah.
Like, we assume, like, I'm not saying subs are a bad thing.
Nope.
But I am saying that subs will eventually run out of a lot of people's ability to get them, because it also, like, it does make your credit score go down a little bit, but eventually they're just going to stop letting you get cards. And like, again, if you're making, and I don't know how much you make, but I'm going to throw out like 250. If you're making $250,000 a year, what you can get even with a bunch of hits is going to be very different than somebody making $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And even if you're in, like, say you're in, you know, a super low cost of living area, so that 75,000 or 80,000 makes you go a lot farther. Again, your ability to like get approved for subs is not the same as everyone else's. And I think that is part of the problem, right? Like, we push subs on people. They get 3 or 4 subs. This is great. And then suddenly they can't get approved for any cards. And it's not because they're doing anything wrong. It's simply because their credit profile, it's simply because I don't have a mortgage or a car payment. Like, my credit profile is mostly my credit cards. My student loans are paid off now. No mortgage, no car payment. Like, I'm not going to buy a car just so I have a car loan.
Yep.
Like, what am I like? And I mean this legitimately. Like, what am I supposed to do? Because all of the tricks for doing that, like, break, right? And like, I get it. You're not LOL of 24 kids. I get that. But like, the idea of just getting subs, like, don't put your stuff on, just get subs, like, eventually that becomes a problem for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
More than half of the people into credit cards aren't making nearly as much as the people who are talking about credit cards often make.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there is a part, there comes a point where like there's only so many subs you can get, and then after you run the subs for a year, what's next, right? Because the 200 back on 500 spend, that's great. That's 2 weeks for some people, right? Then you go, okay, well, 100 back on 1,000 spend. Okay, well, that's still, you know, maybe a month or a month and a half of spending, if that. But you're going to go through, if you're focusing on just welcome offers for a year, without the larger welcome offers that would give you some pretty decent return, you're just going to burn through a ton of cards and then be stuck with chase marketing nonsense, or, you know, Wells Fargo now adopting that same thing, or your velocity is too high for Citi, or your velocity is too high for American Express, except American Express will just give you a credit card for, I don't know, existing.
Right, but even Amex at a certain point, Amex will stop, because like, you're gonna hit pop-up jail.
Yeah, or their card limits, unless you're Sledge.
Right. But like, that's the problem, is like, at a certain point, like, you just can't. And like, I understand business cards are different, but like, again, at a certain point, you're just not going. And Keith, I understand you're saying don't waste all of your spend on your everyday cards, but like I I don't have a welcome bonus right now. I don't have the ability to get one right now if I wanted one. Like, unless I'm going after cards that I have no desire for. Like, I'm out of Wells right now. I'm out of Amex right now. I'm out of Chase right now. I'm out of Citi, even though I don't really want anything at Citi. I've had Capital One cards, which means that Capital One is not going to approve me for anything I want. Like, my credit score is solid, my income is solid, like, all of that is solid. My problem is that, like, I just got a bunch of cards over 3 years, and I'm tapped. So, it changes those things are not talked about enough in the credit card community. Because the people who are doing a lot of the videos are getting a lot of bonuses based off of referrals, so it's not behooving them to talk about any of this.
Yeah.
A lot of them who have primary jobs are in jobs that earn them really good livings, so they're coming from a different point of view. So all of that is different. Yeah, 1 or 2 subs a year is feasible for most people if there are if there are cards you wanna get. Now you're talking about getting cards that you might not want just for the sub, which is fine, but not everybody wants to do that, right? Like, convincing people who are happy with their setup to get a card only for a sub, like, and yeah, there are upgrade, downgrade, retention offers. Retention offers are getting hard. Upgrade, downgrade, you still, like, are running the risk that they may not give you an upgrade offer.
Yep.
Like, there are, again, and I'm not saying none of these are good strategies. I'm saying that, like, we overhype certain things in the credit card game, especially for people who have the spend and have the income and have the credit profile.
We blew it up. We blew it up. God damn it to hell, you blew it up.
But yeah, like, again, there are ways. And I think something like Rakuten is probably better for most people than a sub. Like, there are Matt's going all out. I do think, like, the Venture X is nice in that, like, if you can use Capital One miles, the Capital One shopping portal is excellent. Rakuten can be excellent, but you have to be able to use the product. Like, you have to be able to use Capital One miles. You have to be able to use either MR or Bilt points. Like, that's the caveat there.
And if you're looking for an unlimited catch-all, if you're not looking to use miles, just knowing this particular situation, just go to Bank of America. You're going to be so much happier. 2.62% unlimited catch-all, you're good.
Yeah.
Just go
I
and
also,
put money there.
things are going to tighten up over the next 12 months. Like, hard, I think.
For 6 months and then keep waiting.
I mean, they've already started to tighten up.
Yeah. They're starting to, but again, the market and the economy are no longer attached properly, and so that break is still taking forever to catch up to each other.
No, but from an underwriting perspective, things are tightening up.
That's fair.
I'm interested, Clinton. What is your yearly credit card spend? If you would like to share. Sleepy Rod, sorry I'm late. Do y'all think Bilt changing from Wells Fargo to cardless will have any impact on transfer partners?
Not in the next. I'm going to say not in the next 6 to 12 months. JAL is locked in for sure. I don't know when the next Hyatt negotiation is going to be. Alaska is in that third year. If they signed a 3-year contract, they would be the first ones up, I think. Uh, qualified for gold, prefer rewards. I know you can hit platinum. Just go to platinum. It'll be easier.
So is it like if you just want a single card, like losing proposition, can you most have good food cards, right? Like you can get 3 or 4x on most food cards. I agree.
Yep.
Not everybody wants to juggle multiple cards. Like
or do travel card.
Or do a travel card. 40K. I respect it.
So yeah. Here's what I'd say. If you're going cash back, it doesn't the higher multipliers really don't matter. If you're just doing cash back, 2 to 2.62%, slap it into a money market account or slap it into an account that just continuously buys like something like VTI or a total market ETF, you're gonna like all of those rebates would be fine. Depending on how much spend per month you put on the card. But that's if you're just doing pure cash back and you don't care about spend, if you don't care about travel. When you do travel, that's when the multipliers really have to start playing some different tunes. Like you have to start playing some different tunes with multipliers. But if you're just doing pure cash back, ain't nothing wrong with a high enough floor, and 2.65% would just be fine. And just invest it and you're good to go. Also, today was the day that the Ritz-Carlton card lost its unlimited guest access.
So
that's fun. If you need to.
Anything else, people of the chat? There are 59 of you. Any other questions, comments, concerns, topics? We're at the 2-hour mark, so this is usually when we turn it over to y'all.
Keith,
you're adorable, Keith.
I was suspicious that no other $1 trillion asset, would pull off a 2x catch-all card with 1-to-1 transfers to Hyatt Bilt. You're not misunderstanding. It's not a question of the transfer partners necessarily. I think it's a question of the underlying business model that is kind of the problem, or the underlying card metrics, or how the company is going to make money with a 3% if they're subsidizing a 3% fee on top of all of that. Bilt can make money. Bilt can handle the transfer partner side of things with the ways that they make money with housing and the rest of their program. They can make hold on. They claim they can make money and make that sustainable. The credit card side of things is not sustainable. So we'll see what ends up happening, but there was very definitely something wrong with Chase and American Express and Capital One, unless they didn't book meetings with those banks. And if they didn't book meetings with those banks, it's even worse than we think. Rent days are going to be a thing through the end of the year, but
also, like, Chase could absolutely make the Freedom Unlimited 2x, and it would be fine. Like, they could go up the 0.5, and it would be fine.
What can I tell you?
About this.
Real quick, Sleepy Rod. They're attached to. There's going to be 2 new versions of the Autograph Journey. They're attached to Wells Fargo Premier Checking and Wells Fargo Private Bank. Both of them are going to get their own version of the Wells Fargo Autograph. It's going to be the same $95 annual fee card. Both versions of the card are going to be Visa Infinite cards. So you're going to get a $95 Visa Infinite card. They're going to get their own dedicated customer service, Visa Infinite benefits, and 100,000 points on $4,000 in spend in the first 3 months of opening the card. Premier, you got to hold at least $250,000 in assets for the $35 fee to be waived. Private bank, I don't know the requirements for private bank because I ain't that rich.
You don't have $1 million, Matt?
No, not today. If I get hit by a car tomorrow, maybe.
It depends on who's driving the car.
Exactly.
Those bodily injury limits are a hell of a drug.
But no, that's what I found. That's what was told to me. And when folks were getting antsy about like, oh, looks like Beyond is coming out in February. No. And what I've been told, there's going to be another transfer partner this quarter. There's another transfer partner next quarter. They're going to work. They've got transfer partners lined up for quarter 3 and quarter 4. No other credit cards are on the roadmap. And there's going to be something with their travel portal at some point. But I don't know what that's going to be.
It shouldn't.
No. No.
I'm going to break it now. The new transfer partner is Delta. Totally going to be Delta.
It's not.
I know. I picked the least likely possible transfer partner.
I will say this about Q1. Yeah, I'm hoping for other ones along with what they have in store for Q1, but Q2 should be intriguing. I haven't heard anything about Q3 or Q4 yet.
Those are many Qs away.
Yeah, it's probably changed. So if you want to go in and open a Wells Fargo Premier account, you can open the Premier account and then apply for the Premier Journey Premier, whatever. Haven't heard that one, but I have heard another hotel is coming soon.
Hyatt.
I wish. No.
It's about as likely as Delta.
Might be a little more likely. Who knows?
It's more likely because they've been with other partners. Yeah. Delta and Amex have to have some agreement that's like mutually assured destruction.
Although with what United's going to be doing with Mileage Plus over the next like year or two with the new management that they're bringing in, it's not Best Western, but United might be trying to integrate deeper into Chase, which would make sense if they want to be as lucrative as the Delta Amex relationship. Possible they might convert an autograph, active cash to the people who already have the autograph. That's what they did for me with the Propel conversion. Yeah, it's possible if you already have an autograph and you get moved over, they could give you the active cash, which would be dope.
Just be careful because Wells Fargo and product conversions are fraught.
They're wild pain in the ass.
Yeah. Anything else, Matt? We did some building, and now it's a built world, man.
We've done Bilt. I don't know what to think of the launch was bad. Long-term viability, we'll see. The marketing is disingenuous at best, and the fact that they did the ACH. The fact that they did the ACH thing isn't cool.
No. Also, Matt LaFleur and the Packers are working on their extension, and apparently the number of years is the hang up, which, yeah.
I'm surprised they're keeping Matt LaFleur.
It's the Packers way. What do you think about Bilt deleting threads that are critical on the Reddit?
Bush League. You should be open to your criticism. Like being open to criticism, you may not like the feedback, but just deleting it isn't good.
You can't convert.
Any
If you're converting, you're not going to get that sub. The Attune is a nice card. Like, the Attune covers a lot of things.
Yeah, you can go for the Attune and get 4X and a bunch of stuff. You can hold multiple autographs as well. Like last time I applied for the autograph and then I product changed to an autograph. I briefly held 2 autographs and then I canceled the one that I had just opened because I didn't realize that welcome offers were such a big deal. And so yeah, but you can hold, there's nothing that says you can't hold multiple autographs. Why you would, I don't know. But if you want the welcome offer, go for the welcome offer. You can hold multiple autographs.
Oh, well, Matt.
We've done the Bilt thing. I was finally able to say more on Wells Fargo without, feeling too bad about it because, well, I said I would talk if it became a thing, and it became a thing. So there be that. Just buy your Bilt points, guys. Set it to max points. Set it, forget it. Paying with a credit card is going to be 3%. You get the 3%. Just pay the 3% and roll with it. With that, Clinton says, say goodnight, Matt. I will say goodnight, Matt. RJ, enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you guys same time, same place.
I guess.
Later.